All right, my friends, in this one we are talking about engagement, and a lot of people screw this up. So we're going to do some reviews. I'm going to go over people who write good replies, and I'll write a few replies myself. So, first off, you find people to engage with the same way you find people to DM, right? Pretty much following big accounts and uh, finding people in the replies. You can also go to their following list and see who they're following. um, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at Anthony, because he has about 16.5k, but you can look at their following list, not their followers, because this is usually smaller and it's usually focused on creators. So you can see there's a ton of creators right here where uh, like you can click on them, or you can look at them, see how many followers they have, and you can reach out to them, or you can add them to a list and you can engage with them. So uh, let's look at this, because a lot of people write replies in a way that isn't going to get them followers and is usually just going to annoy people, right? So let's look at my own replies, right? And I'll go over those. I hope none of you are in these replies. If you are, you can be quiet about it and just fix your replies. So let's look at one. Oh, I had one previously. Okay, so the one that I wrote about wrongs to right. I said a few things that living with wrongs to right Dakota has taught me. Random, maniacal, whatever. You can read through this. But then people replied, and it's like, I shouldn't be showing this in a course, but people replied, like, this is kind of a joke. It's kind of like wholesome. It's authentic. You have to read the room before you start replying to people. So Dakota replied with that. But it's like everyone can benefit from what you've learned, and you can also profit from your advice. Now tell me why no one is going to support you. Like nothing against this guy. I'm sure he's a cool guy, but how does that have anything to do with the tweet, right? How are you adding on to it or something related to that that's going to get engagement or even followers, right? This doesn't make sense. I forget what. So this guy put, again, great guy, I'm sure, but the most important things can't be taught, they must be learned. And so this got a decent amount of engagement, but it's like it still doesn't. Dakota replied with that, but like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add on to it. Like that, if you want to connect with people, especially the creator, you have to leave insightful replies. So let's see if there's any good ones. Sounds and looks like the key is fun. Enjoying the moment is a skill that not everyone has. Good for y'all. That's a good one, right? But there's nothing really compelling me to go to his profile and follow him. So you have to find both the balance of like reading the room, at being able to craft a reply related to the actual tweet itself without rewording it, and baking in some of your persuasion knowledge to get people to click on your profile and follow you. And now, of course, this is assuming that you have a profile picture that makes it seem like you are a creator. So there's other people, like personally, I love Alpha King, but that doesn't look like a creator profile picture, right? You aren't really going to notice that and follow him for it, right? And so it was just one tweet of many. But let's look at people who do good replies. So Dicky, again, amazing at replies. Let's look at these. Let's find one where he replied, and you can go through and study people's replies. Okay, so I replied to this one as well from Justin Welsh, but it's a 5-step formula to 10x your copywriting skills. I've studied hundreds of copywriting frameworks, and this one clicked faster than any other I've read. Awesome breakdown, Justin. Thanks for sharing. So he has very good writing where it's like, I've studied hundreds of copywriting frameworks that catches attention, and this one clicked faster than any other I've read. So not only is he giving Justin praise, but he's also baking an authority there where he studied hundreds of copywriting frameworks. And it's like, okay, who is this guy that has studied 100 copywriting frameworks? Awesome breakdown, Justin. Thanks for sharing. So this is a great reply. It's not repeating this. Oh, I didn't even see you responded to me. But a meaningful goal plus clarity on how to achieve it plus a true deadline closing in equals the greatest nootropic stack known to man. If you're looking for productivity hacks, you're working on the wrong project. Damn. See, that's good. So you can write tweet style posts in the replies to get followers, because tweets in themselves get followers. But the main problem that people make is just rewording what I'm saying, right? He's not doing that. He's bringing in fresh new perspective to it, where I completely agree with that, where it's like you don't need productivity hacks if a project is important to you. I've said that time and time again. And so he's reiterating on it, and I guarantee he's getting followers from this, right? And one other thing to take into account with this is that with tweets, your replies are going to, this is hard to like gauge, but your replies will get the most eyes on them if the tweet gives people a reason to go into the replies, right? Because I've had viral threads, let's look at this, or I've had viral tweets like this one where it only brought me maybe like 100 followers. Nothing compared to other tweets. There's no reason for them to follow me or click through. It's just a feel-good tweet. There's nothing sparking controversy. There's no open loops. There's nothing that is letting people go into the replies and like find context or just like make fun of you or leave a negative comment or leave a positive comment. There's none of that. So that's just something to keep in mind, where your replies are going to go the furthest and get you the most followers on tweets that are getting that person more followers and kind of making people click the tweet and go into the replies. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind, and we will dive more into this content psychology in the next module as a whole, but that's just one thing to keep in mind, and you get better with this over time. Now let's look at one more. Justin Welsh. See, when I used to create like my original Twitter course or other things, I was operating from the perspective of like money Twitter accounts. And now I'm operating from the perspective of like people that know what they're doing, where it's Justin Welsh, it's someone else. They are very good and they're growing very quick. And they also have a lot of authority, because there are like basic platitude accounts, which I have nothing against, but they grow very fast, but they don't have the other pillars of social leverage. They don't have authority or authenticity. They only have the growth pillar. So if you find people with the authority, authenticity, and growth pillars all in one, then they're a good person to connect with. So let's look at his replies. Dun, dun, dun. So sometimes he just does like replies. Of course, you have to feel the room. But let's look at this one, right? I'll keep writing this because people keep misunderstanding it. Content that gets a lot of likes often doesn't make you a lot of money. True. Content that makes you a lot of money doesn't often get a lot of likes. Also true. If your KPI is profit, don't chase engagement. It's generally the inverse. I use copy I know will generate engagement to continue growing my prospect pool. When it's time to sell, my posts get 70% less engagement, but I make 10x the revenue. Gotta have a balance. Great tweet, man. So he's telling what he does. He's giving actionable advice related to the tweet on what he does. And we're actually going to touch on this quite a bit about virality, because going viral doesn't make sense. It's a growth pillar. That's the growth pillar in the 3 pillars of social leverage. But when it comes time to promote or something else, this is what a lot of people get wrong, and we'll talk about this more. But you don't have to talk about your expertise all the time, because you can always come and start to educate and raise your audience's awareness levels when you plan to promote something. When I didn't write about business content for like 3 months leading up till digital economics. And then when that came, I wrote 2 threads every week. I started talking more about business. I started raising people's awareness levels and getting them interested in business. And then I started promoting. So you can talk about whatever you want the entire time. And when it comes time to promote, that's when you need to shift into like marketing, value, actionable advice gear, and then go from there. So let's write a reply. Oh, I actually want to go through something. So in Tweet Hunter, you can do this as well. So Tweet Hunter, I've had links throughout there, but this is how I schedule tweets. we'll dive into that a bit later, but it's pretty straightforward and simple. It's like you write the tweet here, you press schedule according to your schedule, and it schedules it. And you can write threads in here as well. But one thing that Tweet Hunter has is engaging. So if you go to CRM and then you go to engage with people, or you can engage with your own audience, but let's look at engage with people. And you can start to add people in here where add a selection. So you can add a list URL in here. So let's talk about lists really quick. So I have my own list. If you go to more and then lists, you can create a list where let's create one because I don't think I can use private lists here. So actually I'll just make one of these public so people don't see, because people get notified when you do that. Oh, okay, I have one right here, authors. So authors, you can edit the list, you can add members, other things like that. And then you can take this and you can copy and paste it into Tweet Hunter. And now I see all of their tweets and I can engage with them. So I could add a bunch of big accounts in here and just engage. I don't really want to engage with any of these people right now, but you can see what I mean. And so you can write your tweet here and then you just reply, and it will also like the tweet because it's checked and it says auto like tweet when replying. So Tweet Hunter is a great place if you want to schedule, generate ideas for tweets, and engage with people and your audience all in one. But another way, because this does cost money, is TweetDeck. So if you go to tweetdeck.twitter.com, you can go here and you can start to build out like your own place to start engaging on, right? So I can add columns, and those columns can be lists. So when I create a list, I can come and add it in here. That's what all of these are. I can add search, I can add my DMs, so I can manage DMs from here, or even have a VA come in and manage them for me. I can schedule tweets in here as well. And yes, so I have my engagement lists here and my notifications. So if you don't want to be on the timeline, you can have like your own idea generation type deal right here. So let's find a tweet from Dickies, since I want to return the favor of him engaging with me and sending some followers my way. Where's like an actual tweet? Power words for your tweets, headlines, and email subject lines. Free, binge, harsh, waste. Pick words that pack a punch. Greatest. Yep. Greatest has been in my rotation a lot recently. Works wonders. Right, simple as that, but you can go even further with this. And if you want to take this like a step further, you could go power words for your tweets, headlines, or subject lines. Power words for writing. Like you can research these things, right? You're not stuck with the information that you have in your head. You have all of the information ever at your fingertips with the internet. So amazing, jubilant, persuade, phenomenal, pluck, power up, brilliant. And you can read through some of these, and then you can come back to this and write something like my favorites. I've used a lot over the... See, I could say it in a way where I catch attention and I kind of follow Dickie's style where I'm crafting it like a tweet, where it's like, out of the 30K tweets I've posted, my highest engaging ones include the word greatest. And that's true. It's actually true. And so I could post that, and then people will see like, oh, this guy's written 30K tweets, he has a nice profile picture, I'm going to see what he's about and possibly follow him, right? So you're also, it's a science, it's an art where you're trying to formulate a reply that not only adds value but isn't repetitive, but at the same time makes people want to click on your profile because you're kind of implying that there's a story behind it, right? You're implying that there's something else to find with by like referencing yourself in a sense and something that you've done. So that's it for engagement. I would recommend it, starting to engage just 10 times a day. Get your name out there and start DMing people as well using the non-needy networking framework. And yeah, I'll send this just to show that I actually reply to people. But that's it. Hope to see you in the next one. I will see you in the next one.